Welcome. What is a virus? What is a bacteria? What is the difference? What is a virus? What is a bacteria? What is the difference? Virus. When you wake up with the sniffles, not feeling too well, you probably have a cold. Colds are caused by viruses. Other viruses cause the flu and some very serious illnesses, such as chickenpox, measles, rabies, and AIDS. Scientists think viruses might also be a cause of some cancers. Many viruses can go from one person to another. A tiny germ. A virus is a tiny germ that can infect the body. Different kinds of viruses can also infect animals and plants. There are thousands of kinds of viruses. There are about 100 kinds of viruses that cause colds. Viruses are much too small for scientists to see even with an ordinary microscope. Scientists must use a powerful electron microscope to see viruses. A virus is a pretty simple thing. It has two basic parts. It has an outer part, called a protein coat. Inside the coat, it has genes. Genes are tiny structures that tell plants and animals how to grow and what shape to be. A virus attacks. Each kind of virus infects, or attacks, a different type of cell. All parts of your body are made of units called cells. Cold viruses head for the lining of your nose or throat. Sometimes the cold virus spreads to the air passages that lead to your lungs. When a cold virus gets into your nose cells, it tries to take over. First, it takes off its protein coat. Next, it lets its genes go free. The genes command your nose cells to make more of the virus. The virus actually uses part of you to make copies of itself. Why do you feel sick? More and more viruses grow in the cells that make up the lining of your nose. They burst out of one nose cell and head for other nose cells. This is how the infection spreads. An infected nose cell dies after the new viruses burst out. As your nose cells die, your head feels stuffy. Your nose starts to run. Dying cells make you feel sick. How do viruses spread? You can give your cold virus to someone else. You send out viruses when you cough or sneeze. Another person can breathe in the virus from the air near you. The virus gets on your hands when you blow your nose. Other people can get the virus by touching what you have touched and then touching their nose, eyes, or lips. You can help keep a cold virus from spreading by covering your mouth when you cough or sneeze. You should also wash your hands often. Different viruses spread in other ways. The rabies virus is in the saliva of an infected dog. The dog spreads the virus when it bites. Mosquito bites can also spread viruses. West Nile virus goes from birds to mosquitoes when the mosquitoes bite the birds. The mosquitoes then spread the virus when they bite humans and other animals. The virus that causes AIDS is in blood and other body fluids. The viruses that cause cold sores and chickenpox get in through the skin. Other viruses live in food and get into people who eat the food. Fighting a virus. When a cold virus attacks, your body fights back. Your body sends special white blood cells up to your nose. These cells are part of your immune system. The immune system cells kill the virus. After a few days, you get over your cold. The immune system cannot kill every kind of virus. The viruses that cause cold sores and chickenpox hide in nerve cells. The immune system cannot find them there. Some viruses can kill people. The AIDS virus and the rabies virus are germs that can kill people. There are no drugs that can cure a disease caused by a virus. Antibiotics do not kill viruses. Antibiotics only kill other kinds of germs called bacteria. Scientists are trying to make drugs that will kill viruses. They have made some drugs that help control viruses. Some of these drugs help people with AIDS stay alive. Preventing infection. Doctors use a type of medicine called a vaccine to keep some kinds of viruses from making people sick. Vaccines often have dead or weakened viruses in them. There are vaccines for measles, chickenpox, rabies, flu, and other diseases caused by viruses. All vaccines work pretty much the same way. You will not get measles, for example, if you get the measles vaccine. A doctor or nurse gives you a shot of the vaccine. The vaccine puts the measles virus into your body. The vaccine virus is too weak to cause measles, but your immune system does not know that. Your immune system attacks. It learns how to destroy the measles virus. If a real measles virus later gets into your body, your immune system will remember how to defeat it. It will wipe out the virus before it takes over your cells. Using viruses. Scientists are studying ways to use viruses as tools. They think of cells infected by viruses as being like little factories. They want to use viruses to force cell factories to make chemicals used in medicines. Viruses may also be able to help treat diseases caused by missing or damaged genes in humans. Harmless viruses could carry healthy genes into cells. The healthy genes might cure the disease. Some kinds of cancer might one day be cured by viruses. Scientists may learn how to make special killer viruses that would attack cancer cells. Bacteria. Peek into a clean room with no one in it. There are no pets in the room. There are no plants in the room. It looks like there is nothing alive in the room. The room, however, is swarming with life. Billions of tiny life forms called bacteria cover the tables and chairs and the floor. You can't see them, but they stick to the windows, they cling to the ceiling, and they float through the air. Suppose you looked at part of a chair in the room through a microscope. Microscopes magnify bacteria. You would see pale forms moving and bumping into each other like ghosts. These tiny life forms are bacteria. They live everywhere in the world. Billions of them even live inside of you. What do bacteria look like? Bacteria come in 3 basic shapes. Some are round or shaped like a jelly bean. Some are spiral shaped like a corkscrew. Some are long, like rods. Each sphere or spiral or rod is called a cell. Animals have millions of cells, but bacteria have only one cell. This single bacterial cell is called a bacterium. An outer wall surrounds the cell and protects it. A substance called DNA floats around inside the cell. Some bacteria have hair-like parts, called flagella. The flagella help the bacteria move around in search of food. Flagella also move bacteria away from things that could harm them. What do bacteria do? Some bacteria help you. Bacteria in the body help fight off disease and help you digest your food. Some bacteria that live in soil help plants by producing substances plants need. They break down dead plants and animal waste. They make a gas called carbon dioxide from decaying material. Other bacteria help plants take a gas called nitrogen out of the air. Plants need carbon dioxide and nitrogen in order to grow. Some bacteria can harm you. There are bacteria that cause food poisoning, pneumonia, tuberculosis, and other sicknesses. Some bacteria cause tooth decay. Bacteria can also infect farm animals and wild animals. Disease-causing bacteria are different from helpful bacteria. You can swallow disease-causing bacteria in unclean food or water. Bacteria that cause infections can get into cuts and sores. Bacteria can get on your hands and go from your hands into your nose, eyes, or mouth. That is why it is so important to wash your hands often. How do bacteria grow and spread? Most bacteria simply split in two. Bacteria reproduce very rapidly. One bacterial cell can become two in just a few minutes. Two bacteria become four bacteria, and then four become 8 bacteria. Bacteria keep multiplying this way until there are billions of them. Different kinds of bacteria must compete for food. This competition keeps bacteria from overrunning Earth. Who discovered bacteria? No one knew about bacteria until the microscope was invented. Bacteria are so small that they must be magnified at least 500 times their actual size for us to see them. A Dutch microscope maker named Antony van Leeuwenhoek in the 1670s was the first person to see bacteria under a microscope. He saw tiny life forms swimming around in drops of rainwater and in scrapings from his teeth. He called the bacteria animalcules, meaning tiny animals. French scientist Louis Pasteur in the 1800s proved that some bacteria are germs that cause disease. He found that heat kills bacteria. Heating surgical instruments to kill bacteria is called sterilization. Heating milk and other foods to kill bacteria is called pasteurization, a word named for Pasteur. A German scientist named Robert Koch also made important discoveries about bacteria. He founded a field of science called bacteriology, the study of bacteria. Why do we study bacteria? Scientists study bacteria to find out how these tiny life forms behave. Scientists also want to know what diseases bacteria cause. They look for ways to kill disease-causing bacteria. In the mid-1800s, scientists learned that killing bacteria can stop the spread of some diseases. Doctors learned that sterile surgical instruments and operating rooms help prevent infection after operations. Scientists learned that having clean drinking water and food prevents the spread of deadly diseases such as cholera and typhoid. Scientists also learned how to make vaccines that protect against some diseases caused by bacteria. They made vaccines from dead or weakened bacteria or from poisons bacteria produce. For example, a shot of tetanus vaccine protects you from the bacteria that cause tetanus. Tetanus bacteria live in the soil. They can get into even small cuts on your body. Tetanus causes muscles to tighten. It can be deadly. In the mid-1900s, scientists discovered antibiotics, drugs that kill bacteria. Before antibiotics, many people died from pneumonia and other infections caused by bacteria. Some bacteria have become resistant to antibiotics. The antibiotics no longer kill them. Scientists are working to make new kinds of antibiotics that will kill resistant bacteria. What is a virus? What is a bacteria? What is the difference? Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.